Hi, I'm Nikki Fried, Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture. Welcome to the 2022 National Association of County Agricultural Agents annual meeting. Thank you to the Florida Association of County Agriculture Agents and the UF-IFAS Extension System for bringing extension agents from across the country together to celebrate the ways you all make agriculture stronger. Agriculture is the second largest industry in the state of Florida, with an economic impact of nearly $150 billion and employing over 2.4 million Floridians, including farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Florida has over 300 commodities, 1.2 million acres of national forest lands, and 47,000 farms and ranches, and a booming agritourism business. And that's just a short list of what we have to offer. I hope you'll get a chance to see the impact our state's agriculture community has in our country during your time in Florida. Thank you again for the Florida Association of County Agriculture Agents for hosting this year's meeting, and thank you to all the extension agents that work tirelessly every day to support and educate our ag community. The Commissioner's Ag Environmental Leadership Awards has been presented annually since 1994 to recognize outstanding stewardship by members of Florida's agriculture community. This award honors those who use best management practices to conserve our natural resources while growing the food that feeds the world.
I walk a lot of farms and they're all unique. And I'd say to characterize Marshall Farms, you gotta say they're very progressive. Probably one of the most progressive farms that I work with.
Well, I've been working with James and Nick for the past 3 years with the Florida Department of Ag Best Management Practices Program, and they were one of the first farms in Okaloosa County to enroll in the program. The reason we're doing the BMPs is for water quality and water quantity if you're irrigating. So they have both on the farm. We're trying to reduce the amount of nutrients and sediment leaving the farm for water quality. And if we can reduce the amount of irrigations we have to put out each year, that's water quantity for the whole state.
One example of a water-saving BMP was to have the Mobile Irrigation Lab Service install low-flow nozzles on their center pivot irrigation systems. The farm also plants cover crops and employs strip tilling to improve soil health, reduce erosion, and increase water quality. Other BMPs include using GPS grid sampling and variable rate technologies to precisely apply nutrients. Utilizing the John Deere Exact Apply sprayer, for example, the Marshalls apply up to 10% less pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides while eliminating drift over to neighboring crops or properties.
Grid sampling, for instance, where you're taking a soil sample across the grid and then you use variable rate fertility. So you're not applying fertilizer and crop protection materials where they don't need to be. You direct it to the areas where the soil sample calls for it. So that's extremely environmentally friendly.
The Jungle Nursery, a 30-acre tropical landscape in the middle of Homestead, Florida. Owning a small family nursery can be demanding, but operating a nursery surrounded by residential neighborhoods brings its own set of challenges. From water use to fertilization, every procedure factors in the well-being of the plants with a potential impact to the surrounding communities. Environmentally focused, the Jungle Nursery uses a number of best management practices to maintain a healthy balance. For Sandy, there is no other way.
From the very first time I met him, he talked about environmental issues because BMPs have always been a topic of conversation. And FNGLA growers have a BMP document that they adhere to in terms of what he does in nutrient management in terms of the water that leaves his property, trying to reduce the nutrients in the water, trying to be careful with the fertilization practices he uses, the potting, different pots. They're all part of the AMP practice, and Sandy, I think, does as many of those practices as possible.
When I came here, he was already on that pathway, so I think he's always been conscious of what he does.